Yo everyone, welcome back to another video, and today guys we are going to be talking about something that I honestly have had so much struggle with on my streams recently, and I have seen a lot of advice and also spoke to a lot of people because this season alone is quite ruining frames for PC players especially. I don't know much about console, but for PC alone, and there's also a massive few updates that I have brought to Fortnite which involve DLSS, which is ray tracing, which is very good for seeing very good quality of detailed art pictures and also buildings, for example. So reflective stuff is now actually visible for you to see you editing and stuff, and I might actually show you what I mean by that on the screen right now. But yes, let's just get straight into this. These settings will really help you out, guys. Honestly, I can't tell you how much these will help you if you are struggling for FPS. There are a few little things, and also it goes down to Nvidia graphics cards. So if you are an Nvidia graphics card user, then this video will help you a lot more than AMD users. But let's just get straight into this. Thank you so much for all the support recently. Let's try to get 100 likes on this. Thank you so much for all the support, and let's just get straight into this. Okay guys, so we're going to be talking about the display tab first, guys. So first of all, it's going to be full screen. You want to make sure it is nothing else, only full screen. And then it will go down to resolution, which I honestly would recommend stretch this season, and none of you would understand what I mean by that, but honestly I'd recommend stretch resolution, not native, not 1920 by 1080. I'd recommend 1722 by 1070 this season, because it really helps you get them frames. And also going down to 3D resolution, setting it to 83 to get the most frames out, which is 1600 by 900 in total, which really does help with juicing frames out of your game, as frames are recommended for this season. Seriously, we gotta think of how much is in the game this season compared to others, and then these are all personal preference. So if you guys want a colorblind filter, I stick with none. And also from last season, they have fixed the brightness glitch and brightness problems, so I would stick to not 100, maybe even 90 at push, but they're perfectly fine this season. The only thing is when you're building and it's really sunny in the world, then it really is hard to see some of your buildings, so maybe reduce it to about 90%, I would say, but I'd keep mine at 100. And then when it comes down to here to frame rate, I would honestly keep it depending on how your hertz. It's all about your hertz. So for example, if you have a 60 hertz monitor, I'd say stick it to unlimited to get the most frames out of your game. For 144 hertz monitor, I'd say 160 frame limit, maybe even 144. But if you have a 240 hertz monitor, which most of you probably don't have because they are overpriced as hell, I would honestly stick it to 237 or 240 at push. But I'd honestly say they would be perfect. I have 165 hertz monitor, so I'm just sticking it to 160, but I just find that my own personal preference. But here is the graphic quality, which I'd honestly stick to all low apart from view distance. I would stick that to about far. The rest of them I would keep on low, just to juice the most frames out of your game. But at the end of the day, that's up to you if you guys want the quality or you actually want the frames and less sort of input delay when it's going to your graphics card for quality, but that's up to you. And then it goes down to here, advanced. So I would only use VSync, and VSync is only meant to be used if you have 60 frames. If you only have 60 frames, I'd say stick down, but I have 165 hertz, so if you have anything over 60 hertz, I'd honestly say recommend to keep that off. And then motion blur, no go. Motion blur is just disgusting. You never want to use that. It's awful. It's just a fluent animation. But then show FPS, that's up to you. I honestly have always had experiences with this slightly taking your frames down by like 3-4%, but that's not exactly, so don't mock me for that. But I honestly see some sort of drop when you put that FPS on. So you could use a external FPS shower, which you can use GeForce for that. But honestly, direct version, I'd stick to direct version 11 because this is the main version. The new beta can cause problems, and also it does include like ray tracing and stuff like that, and all the new features that they have partnered up with Nvidia for this year. Fortnite have, so if you want to use that, then that's up to you, depending on what card you have. But if you only have like a 2060 or below, I'd honestly say to stick it to direct X11. Nothing different. And then you'd want to, with allow multi-threading, I'd honestly say if you guys have 4 or more cores, then you want to use it. So the next one is use GPU crash debugging, which is a small cost of your frames, but it helps you narrow down what the problem is if your game crashes or if there's any massive spikes which cause the game to just corrupt in general. But I don't really know much about it, so we'll move on from that bit. Next bit is DLSS, which is the whole ray tracing. That is totally up to you if you guys want to use it. I do say that it can help your frames if you go to performance, which basically controls your quality. But I'd honestly say stick that off. You do not need it on. You can use your own personal settings. And let's go straight over to the Nvidia graphics part users. So let's go straight over to that right now. Okay guys, so the next thing you guys want to do, you want to go straight over to here and you want to type in Nvidia control panel. As you guys can see, it popped up there. If you guys don't have this, then I'll show you how to get it if you guys don't know already. So you go to a new tab on Google and you'll type in Nvidia control panel. It'll come up. If you guys haven't, don't worry if you haven't already, it literally is free to download. You just click get, and then it will say open Microsoft Store. You download it, it's totally free. It doesn't cost you at all. Once you've downloaded that, you then will be brought up by this. This is the main thing you guys want. So first of all, you want to start by here. Most of you have probably done this already, but some of you probably haven't. So first of all, you want to use the 3D image settings. You just want to do that best for performance and getting as much frames as possible. And then you want to go straight over to the manage 3D settings. And this is the bit you guys might have to pause for to be able to copy all of my settings, as I was messing around for over the past week to sort out my frames, and it's slightly improved them. You won't have anything massive to improve your FPS like 300. You know, if you see any of them videos, they are totally fake. I can't lie to you. At the end of the day, games like Fortnite aren't very optimized, if that makes sense. It's more quality rather than optimization to make more frames come out of it. So it all depends on your parts in your computer, if I'm honest. But the best way to get frames from your graphics card and just your control panel in general is copying these settings. So I will put it on full screen right now and let you guys copy them. There you are guys, copy them. And also for here, it depends on what graphics card you have. Honestly, make sure to use your graphics card and prefer maximum performance, and the rest of them to be off, to be honest, because you don't need them. They're just adding and draining your computer even more. Also make sure that when it comes to texture filtering, quality is on high performance rather than max quality, because that will draw frames down when you want them up. And also power management is preferred maximum, so you want to get the most power out of your GPU when it comes to peak times of it being very hot and being processed. So there you are guys, there's all of it. Also then you want to go over to programs just to make sure that Fortnite is using it, and you want to look for Fortnite, and if you can't find Fortnite then you just click add and then recently used or A to Z, and it should be there in your most recents. So you just click Fortnite and then you click add selected, and then you just want to make sure that it's use global settings. If it's using that, then it is using your global settings there rather than the program settings, and then you just have to relaunch it. But further on, I would recommend, after doing everything I have told you in this step-by-step tutorial, to then go and reset your PC. It takes 30 seconds and it will just finalize every single setting, just so there isn't any problems or backlag or anything. But let's just go straight over to the next step. So guys, I have one, if you guys do know about Nvidia GeForce drivers. I don't know if you guys do, but I'd honestly recommend not updating your drivers anymore. And it sounds very stupid, but the reason for that is because it will cause performance issues further down the line, because you are literally just installing massive amount of updates which generally have no massive changes to. Honestly, they are the most littlest things that generally won't mostly affect any of your graphics cards at all, and people won't normally recommend this. They will generally just say to you, yes, update to the most best graphics driver to get the best gameplay, but it honestly isn't. It just adds a bunch more storage to your computer and slows down your computer overall, when you could just stick to the same driver like I have and you won't need to update it. And I made that problem for a long time. I've been doing every single driver when I can. The data comes out, as they are weekly, so you got to think in a week they're not really improving much on a graphics card driver, and this even includes the 30 series that's just came out for the graphics drivers, because they are so unstable, and they can cause problems like they did last season. When it comes to a certain driver, it caused problems and it just kept crashing Fortnite. So I'd honestly recommend not updating any of your drivers from now on. and this is honestly safe. You will not have any harm to your computer at all. Don't worry about it. But if you guys do have any more problems when it comes to the drivers, feel free to comment down below and I'll make another video on it. But let's get straight into the next step. So guys, the next thing you guys want to do, you then want to go to graphics settings, and once you go to graphics settings, you then want to click browser. You guys can see here, this will help you with just pushing Fortnite at a prioritized position on your task manager and just in general on your computer. So first thing first, to get it here, you want to go to browse. Once you've been to browse, you will see the directions here. Wherever your Fortnite is saved, then that's where it will be. So here right now, mine is the C drive. So I'll go C drive, and then I'll go program files, and then I'll go Epic Games, then I'll go Fortnite, and then I'll go Fortnite Games, and then binary, and then Win64. Once you are there, you then want to look for the Fortnite client dash Win64 dash shipping. That's the only one you want, nothing else, not underscore B or underscore EAC or just Fortnite launcher. You only want this one. So once you have done that, you want to click add. Once you have added, you then want to go down to the options button, and you want to click options, and then where it says here about the GPU, you don't want to listen to that, just ignore that. And then you want to turn it to high performance to get the most performance out of Fortnite when it comes to prioritization. This is nothing special, but it will help you with like 20 odd frames, which will help you in the long run, especially if you're streaming like me and you want the most frames you can when it comes to streaming. As I need to milk my frames when I'm streaming due to my quality. Let's just go straight into the next step. All you want to do is click save, and that's it. This is nothing special. This is just, I'm pretty sure I have done this before, and I've done this in a video, but display, and then once you are in settings, you then want to go to system, and then you want to just have a look around, and you want to make sure that you turn on like power and sleep. I put mine on never. I decide when it turns off and stuff. Focus assist, I would honestly say turn all of this off. You don't need it. And when it comes to notification alerts, I don't use notification at all. Notifications just used FPS, and it also comes up at the top right here, and it just pops up on the screen. It just makes you lose a few frames whilst you're playing. So I'd honestly say just turn it off unless you guys are using it. Focus assist off, power and sleep off. Storage you can keep on for your own safety, which will help free up space. Tablet mode I'd keep off. You don't need it unless you're using a tablet. And multitasking, I'd honestly switch this off. You don't need it at all. And that's about it, guys. That's everything that you need to change in the settings. That's up to you at the end of the day. If you guys do want to copy my settings, this is what I honestly decide and have said to help me get the most frames out of my game, which does help overall with just using my computer in general, with just these little things being turned off. As you can get like the Xbox recorder on settings, and this is the most useless thing. You don't even need it, and it just takes down frames by like 30 frames, so on. But let's get straight into the next step. Anyway guys, this is the last step, which is nothing important really, but honestly it just comes with your startup apps, which in my opinion are just apps that will sit there, which can eventually bring down frames whilst you are playing over time. But when it comes, this is mainly for when you start up. So when you push the button to turn on your PC, these will start up. So CC Cleaner and Logitech G Hub, which is for my mouse. I honestly will leave these on because they're low impact apart from Logitech, but I have to use this for my DPI, especially on PC when I'm using Fortnite. But that's up to you. But if you guys have stuff that you don't actually use every single day, I'd honestly turn them off, because it will reduce your FPS by slightly, because they will just sit here in your taskbar and do absolutely nothing, but they will be using frames. So just turn them off if you guys aren't using them. You can just double click them and open them whenever you feel free to. So just turn them off, and also I'd keep Epic Games off. I don't want it on. There's no point of the Epic Games launcher popping up on my screen when you don't need it at all. If you want to launch Fortnite, launch it by the actual app itself. But that will be the end of it, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you so much for all the support recently. If you guys haven't already, go watch my verification video on how to get verified for custom scrims on Fortnite, which I'm going to be moving to very soon. And there might even be cash prizes when it comes to the Discord. So thank you all so much for the support. Have a lovely evening or a lovely morning, and I will see you all later. Peace out.